I enjoy playing rhythm-based music games like Guitar Hero and Rock Band, and those games are pretty fun because you get to listen to some really cool music and play a really simplified game mechanic that makes you feel like you're a part of the creation of the song, which is pretty cool. But a little while ago, Nintendo decided to release their own kind of music game called Wii Music, which isn't a rhythm-based game and isn't really a game itself. It's kind of like a weird synthesizer game with motion controls. It's pretty messed up. And it's also pretty bad. So, let's find the positives. So that was Wii Music from a couple years ago at E3. See, Nintendo decided they wanted to show this off to a big group of people, so they got some kind of professional drummer to try his best to drum with motion controls. And as you can see, it didn't quite work. Now, I would have just assumed that when that happened, Nintendo would have held the game back from release until they actually got things working properly, but they didn't. The game did come out just a little while after that, and it was pretty terrible. Wii Music features tons of instruments, tons of different modes, a whole bunch of songs, and just a whole bunch of crazy stuff going on all over the place. Some of it is really weird, like this dog suit here, or this cat suit over here. I don't really think those are instruments, but dear God, they are a part of the game. The only problem that this game really has, and it really does affect everything, is the fact that it's based completely around motion controls. See, a game like Guitar Hero, Rock Band, Piano Freak, or any of those games feature real good controls that were designed specifically for inputting methods into the controller itself. So for instance, when you're playing Guitar Hero, you've got like this little thing that simulates a string and a couple of buttons up there, and as long as you know how to push buttons, it's pretty much one-to-one with input. But with motion controls, the biggest problem you'll have is that they're never quite accurate. The Nintendo Wii doesn't know exactly how high your hand is or how much force you're putting into any kind of swing, so it's never accurate. Every time you play any song, no matter what it is, you're most likely going to screw up. And when you do, it sounds really, really bad. Now I'm going to play you a little section of the game that I was trying out. This is Daydream Believer by the Monkees. Now I know the song pretty well, but here's me trying to play it in-game. Now that's not how the song's supposed to sound. It kind of sounds like somebody's crawling through a hallway trying to kill you in some horror movie. That's what that sounds like. Doesn't sound at all like the way the Monkees performed it years back. But that's just the problem with Wii Music. It's never accurate, and because of that, all the music in the game sounds garbled. Even the stuff that you really know from Nintendo's standby of music classics, like the theme song to Legend of Zelda, or even the theme song to Super Mario Bros. They're in this game, but they just don't sound right. Some songs are easier to play than others because they're a lot less complex, but no matter what, almost every time you play, it's always going to mess up. Even if you repeat the exact same motions with your hands the exact same way, the console's just not strong enough to detect that kind of precision. Now, when you play a game like Guitar Hero, there's a lot of songs that are in the game, and that's one of the reasons you pick up the game. You wouldn't actually want to play Guitar Hero if it featured a bunch of music from like Billy Joel, who's mostly known as being a piano guy. See, you're really going for music that just sounds really good on guitars. But the one beautiful thing about Wii Music is that you can simulate a whole bunch of instruments, and that's fun. I can't think of an instrument that isn't included in Wii Music. There's flutes, saxophones, and even sitars. There's just so much selection, and that's kind of cool. If the controls were better, it would be a much better experience, but at least they offer tons and tons of varieties of instruments. So the first positive is that this game has tons of instruments. Music and rhythm games usually offer a lot of licensed tracks, you know, songs from very popular artists. And Nintendo didn't slack. They put in Wake Me Up Before You Go Go by George Michael, Jingle Bell Rock, and Please Mr. Postman. Those songs aren't that bad, But they offer a lot of other things that usually you don't find in rhythm-based music games, like classical music. There are tons and tons of classical songs, old video game songs from Nintendo, and a bunch of, okay licensed music. And that's fine. This game probably offers more music than your average rhythm game, but, it's just not the stuff you might be expecting. And that's kind of cool. So, the second positive is that this game offers tons of music. If all you were doing in Wii Music was synthesizing a bunch of music, well, it'd probably get irritating pretty quick. But at least there's actually some games in here, like this bell ringing game, which is actually pretty fun and pretty challenging, or this music guessing game right around here. This is the kind of problem you'll find with a lot of other rhythm-based games. They usually offer one kind of gameplay mode and take that mode all the way through. But in this, you're offered a selection of different games that are about music, which is pretty cool. So the third positive is that Wii Music actually includes some games. Now, I don't want to lie to you folks, when I started playing this game, I really wasn't having a fun time. I was getting irritated by the motion controls, some of the games started to get really repetitive, and the fact that I couldn't play songs I knew really well just really got on my nerves. But around the time when I was about to give up playing the game, I discovered two unique instruments that kind of changed my perspective on what Wii Music was supposed to be. See, up until this point, I thought Wii Music was supposed to be a serious music playing device that played music completely accurately to how you were moving your hands, but that's really not what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a fun experience, and you won't find a more fun experience than using the cat or dog costumes in the game. These costumes are ridiculous, they're stupid, they're not real instruments at all, but that's the point. Wii Music isn't supposed to be something real, it's supposed to be something fun. And I didn't understand that until I used these two costumes. So the fourth positive is the dog and cat costumes. If you're an audiophile, you're probably going to want to stay away from Wii Music, because while you're playing it, you're going to hear so many nuances that are just wrong when you hear these songs that you, like I, know so well. But that's just the way it is. This isn't supposed to be a game that you're supposed to be really good at playing. It's not even supposed to be a really good synthesizer. This is a game that's all about just having fun. And if you can't do that, well, you're probably not going to like Wii Music.